Well, hello, hello, and happy new year, everyone. Welcome to 2025. I am so sorry about the delay, but technical difficulties will not stop next level, will not stop real estate laser rock, and it will not stop you. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for staying on with me. And I just wanted to say happy new year again and welcome to Table Talk 2025. I am your host today, Cecelia Bell, as always, and I'm excited. I'm so excited to be here in the new year. So, I was thinking about Happy New Year. I was thinking about the new year. We make these New Year's resolutions, we come up with all these things that we want to do, our goals, etc. But one of the things that is always top of mind to me is my finances, my money, my wealth, my generational wealth, my legacy. And I always want to be thinking about what that's going to look like when I retire. I got about 5 years to do that. But I have someone that is on today with me. He is my friend. I've been knowing him for over 25 years. He's a financial services representative and he knows all about the money. He's going to talk to us a little bit today about financial literacy. And so, without further ado, my friend, Mr. Doug Williams. Doug Williams.
Doug Vincent.
How are
Yo,
you, Mr. Vincent?
I'm doing good. You've been saying my name so much you can't even remember it right now. What's
I
going on
can't.
with
I know it's all good, sir. It's this whole technical difficulty. It's usually on screen. So Doug Vincent, my friend for over 25 years, is here to talk to us today about financial literacy, Doug. So if you don't mind, come on and tell us what you got, sir.
Well, like you said, Happy New Year to everybody that's listening. If you are connected to Cecilia, I know you're about business. So Happy New Year to you. We're starting the new year off with a great topic: financial services, financial literacy, all those good things surrounding that. And you can go in so many directions when it comes to this topic. For the last 30 years, the firm that I own and the things that I've been doing all these years, really, we want to make sure that we cover all the topics, right? All sizes don't fit all investments or insurance or whatever it might be, real estate. You got to figure out what is best for you. So one of the things we do in the beginning of the year for all of our old clients, new clients that we meet, is we try to do an assessment. So here's a few things I can give you, and we can dig into this a little bit more deeper. But think about this. What age are you currently? What stage of the journey are you? Are you 25 years old, just starting your career? Are you 45, 50 years old, mid-career? Or are you over 60, moving towards retirement, business, real estate, whatever it might be? I would say, that would be the place to start. Let's just start at the back, at the front end. So if I'm 25, 30, and I'm actively working, I want to be thinking about, when it comes to finances, I want to be thinking about, okay, what is my budget? What money is coming in? What expenses maybe can I reduce? But what income do I have extra that then I can begin saving? Time and compounding interest are the friend of let's say, the child that you have that you want to introduce into financial services or investing. Your 18, 19-year-old, your 21-year-old, 22-year-old that just graduated from college. If they have time, and let's say they have a job, or you may be 25 now, listen to this, you have a job where your employer provides you with a 401k. Uh, Most of them will provide free money or matching to whatever you put in there. So I would start there. If I was young and I had 30, 40 years of the ability to start learning about how to invest, I would start there as a young person. If I'm at mid-career, hopefully you have some things saved. If you don't, then you really got to get on the ball, right? So you may already own a home, you may already have a 401k, a Roth IRA, insurance and a lot of different things that you may have dabbled in or actually maximized. Right now, 2025 is where I would be assessing my risk management. Okay, now am I a conservative investor, moderate investor, or am I aggressive? Do I need to be aggressive because I need more money? I need to take some risk off the table because I've accumulated a lot. And now on this back end of the journey, I don't want to give it all back because of a market downturn or, taking on too much risk. Maybe I bought too many properties, or maybe I'm too heavily involved in risky stocks, or, things like that. So you want to take that assessment. Now, for those of you 60 or over, I would suggest, as it relates to a 2025 plan, that you start beginning to think of how am I going to have retirement income for life? What are the streams of income that must come in from age 60 to 90, age 60 to 80, age 65 to 100? People living longer these days. Money has to last longer these days. So now I would be assessing if I didn't go to work, and I know some of you all on here are ready to retire, got a 1 to 3 year plan to retire, 5 year plan to retire, retired, in December. What income streams are going to come in for the rest of my life? And which ones can I turn on now, but not turn on all of them? Because eventually, cost of living and inflation is going to touch some of that money to where you need raises, whether you went back to work or not. So let me give you some examples. You retired, you're getting a pension. That's one stream of income. Let's call that a single lifetime annuity. That pension is going to come in for the rest of your life. Some of you are preparing to take Social Security, or maybe have already taken Social Security. That's another single lifetime annuity. Those are, let's call those two pensions that are coming in for the rest of your life because of your work history. The third thing I would assess is if you've accumulated a certain amount of money in your qualified plan, that's your 401k, your TSP, whatever that might be, can I create a pension from some of those dollars, most of those dollars, all of those dollars? That's another lifetime annuity that you could create. What about that real estate portfolio? Do you have positive cash flow coming in from the real estate you own? That's more lifetime income and retirement. Because once we retire, my definition of fully retired is the most work I have to do is make sure the money is in the bank account, right? That's the work you have to do. Now, if you're going to do part-time retirement or you're starting a business, that's a different discussion. But for those of you over 60, I would be thinking about what is my retirement income for life strategy. And last thing I'll say, and then I'll pause for a minute. The other two areas to think about when you are at that retirement age is what would happen if I experienced a long-term care need. I don't know about you, but I experienced a long-term care need with my mother-in-law for 13 years. Some of you have some aunts, uncles, mothers, father, brothers, sisters that needed nursing home care. Nursing home care is expensive. So if your part of your dream retirement is not to move in with your kids, you may have to think through, if I had to pay $7,500 a month to a long-term care facility, am I going to be able to do that? Something to consider as you move towards retirement. And then finally, what is your legacy going to be like? Your legacy is going to be different than mine. Maybe your legacy is, hey, I'm spending all this money. I'm not leaving anybody anything. That's your right. You can do that. Or you know what? I want to leave a lot to family, friends, charity, my children, grandchildren. Planning should be put in place related to financial literacy, related to legacy planning should be put in place as you move towards through the rest of this year. So let me pause there for a second, Cecelia, and
So yes, Jeff, I wanted to ask, risk factors, because for some of us, the risk factors are lower than others. I'm one that is gonna stay mainstream and say, okay, if you give me something fixed forever, and I won't lose but so much money. Those types of opportunities, I think, are safer for us older ladies that say, "Hey, we want to make sure that we don't lose all of our money." What would you recommend or suggest that we take a look at?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for someone that's let's call it risk averse, I'd rather not lose a dollar of
Mm-hmm.
my $1 million rather
Mm-hmm.
than make 100,000. You know, and you got a lot of people like that. Look, I accumulated $500,000. I don't ever want to see it at 499,000. Okay, that's just how I am.
Yep.
And that's you. We that's
Yes,
that's
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 me.
you,
That's me.
right?
Scary,
And
scary,
so
scary, scary. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's you have a lot of people like that. So what I recommend when you're assessing that is you assess investments that do not will not allow your principal to go below where you began. Okay, that could be CDs at your bank. That could be money market accounts. That could be T bills. Some people want high power savings accounts where, the rates are going down now, but, you could get 5, 6% in your savings account, about 18 months ago. Right about now, a good rate of return would be 4%. But those are some areas. And then another area that we do a lot of is we create pensions for people using annuities. What
Mm.
people don't understand about some annuities, and a lot of annuities get bad raps because they're not being explained properly. And then you got about 10 different kinds. So for the risk averse person, what they don't understand is when you move money out of your 401k into this type of annuity, you've taken it out of the equity market and you've moved it into an insurance contract. What does that mean? You are able to experience some of the upside but none of the downside of the index. So for instance, the S&P 500 is an index. If that index went up 15% and you had your money in a conservative annuity, you might experience 7% of the gains. But if it went down 20%, you experience 0% of the losses. So over the course of time, you're able, for that particular type of investor, with a diversified portfolio, add in something like that to where now you may have only had two lifetime pensions, let's call it, but now we've created a third one, but we've taken the risk off the table of you losing a dime.
Mm. I like that.
Yeah.
Like that. That's good stuff right there, dude. And I'm gonna see if anybody has any questions and they can start to post them. I think if you don't mind, I want to go a little bit longer because the technical difficulties that we've had the first like 10 minutes or so, 9 minutes,
Good.
if that's okay. Because I want to talk about too the long-term care that you mentioned, and if there's anything out there where you can put your money there, and if something happens to you, you're not scrambling to figure out what you're gonna do. And I
Yeah.
talk about daily living thing. We all experience things with our parents. I'm experiencing something right now with my sister, and I want to make sure that what I have in place will protect me for something like that if I can't go back to work for like, I don't know, 90 days, 6 months, whatever, or maybe indefinitely. What do we have, if anything, that can help us through those tough times?
Yeah, no, great question. And let's talk about it from a few different angles. Let's say you are working currently
Hmm.
and you're under 65. Okay.
Hmm.
Most companies provide, as a part of their health benefit package, they'll provide life insurance, disability insurance, as well as long-term care. Now, most long-term care policies, most disability policies at work will drop off when you hit age 65.
Mm.
So once you're at work, you're getting ready to retire, or you've left at 65, or you're still working. Most of them discontinue around that time. Now, let's say it stayed in place and you were 75, it's still there, but you're getting ready to leave that job. Most life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care is portable, but you don't get the same discounted rates because your employer is subsidizing the cost.
Mm.
So the best time to get long-term care insurance is, of course, when you're young, 40s, 50s, things like that. Now, most people that we work with around long-term care don't start thinking about this until, 60. It's normal that you start thinking about this at that age. Most of the time, it's too expensive to do an insurance policy for the full benefit of a long-term care need. So what we try to do when we're doing, a diagnosis of a person's situation is, okay, you have a long-term care need for a short period of time, long period of time. If it's a 90-day period of time, 6-month period of time, a year period of time, we're like, look, you just need to maybe have that in a CD or a savings account or a checking account, things like that. To
Mm-hmm.
back it up, you could get a long-term care policy that could supplement the income
Mm-hmm.
instead of paying for the whole thing. So here's an example. You've created a real estate portfolio, you don't have any debts, and you need $5,000 a month, right? And you got positive cash flow from your real estate, and I could throw in, your pension and other things, Social Security, but let's just say 5,000 from your real estate, but now it's going to cost you another $4,000 a month if you wanted to stay home to have around the clock nursing care for that long-term care need.
Mm-hmm.
So we would help a person look into not a, $4,000 a month policy, but maybe a $2,000 a month policy
Mm-hmm.
because you got the other 5,000 from the real estate and other things that could help to offset that.
Right.
Now, been doing this for so long, the companies have gotten wise and they realize that the way long-term care insurance policies used to work back when I first started was like homeowners insurance or car insurance. You don't get in an accident, you don't get anything back. Your house doesn't burn down, you don't need a new roof, you can't use this, right? That's how long-term care was for the longest time. But now long-term care, for the most part, the good policies have three components. The component of the benefit for the long-term care need, the component of a whole life insurance policy cash value,
Mm-hmm.
and then also a death benefit. So if you never needed the long-term care because you never got sick and you died, your beneficiaries would get the long-term care or the life insurance portion, right? Let's say you built up 10,000 in cash, but you still, good to go and don't have any health needs. You can take that cash as a loan, tax free, as what they call a return of premium. So there are a number of different ways, depending upon who the person is, the risk that they have, the needs that they have, to take the long-term care risk off the table. And it's just one of those things where it needs to be properly diagnosed. Talk to your financial professional about that, and just make sure they're asking the right questions that fit you.
Very good. You. Okay, team. Um, do we have any questions for Doug? Um, right now. Does anybody have anything that is that they want to share or bring to the floor that is burning in your heart to ask? Burning in your heart to ask at this time, because he will be returning to next level Monday Night Club next in a couple weeks. So what is it? Long term coverage is so important. Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Sony, for that. Does it, hello? Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Um, as I wanted to ask one more thing that you was talking about the long term care. Um, is that policy that you're talking about, is that the one where um I know you just mentioned um you mentioned being able to work and I guess supplement it. Does that policy continuously is good as long as you pay and it does not shut you off at a certain age? And then the next part to that is, what about those of us that are self-employed and we don't have that employer benefit of helping?
Yeah, no, great questions. And so, one of the things there are two companies that I know of that have what's called a continuation rider once your, let's call it, your face amount for the policy ran out. So let me just give you a quick example. You could afford, or you wanted a $50,000 long-term care policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the long-term care need kicked in, and it's going to cost for you to go to a facility, for you to stay at home, because there are different options that you can have depending upon what type of policy you have. And let's just say it was $5,000 a month. So $5,000 a month times 10 months, that 50,000 is gone. If you don't have a continuation of benefit rider connected to that policy, once that 50,000 is gone, if you outlived it, you don't have any more money coming in because you went, your 50,000 is at zero. So you want to research the type of policies that have continuation of benefit riders. In the state of Maryland, where I primarily work, this is a statistic that you could Google. 1 out of 2 people over the age of 74 are going to have a long-term care need, one out of 2, for between 6 months and 18 months in their life. So one of us, let's just say me and you, I'm 55, right? You your age.
No, I'm 62. I'm proud of my age. I look good, bro. I look
Okay, all right.
huh?
I didn't want to say that. So you 62. So when me and you hit 74, okay,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Maryland says one of us before we die is
mm-hmm,
gonna have that need, and let's just say it was for a year. Okay.
mm-hmm,
In Silver Spring, the average cost for long-term care is $7,500 a month.
mm-hmm.
So the proper planning for that is going to be at least $75,000 coming from somewhere. So you were like, okay, I didn't have this at the employer. Well, are you the type of person that likes to, be liquid? So, all right, if I had a long-term care need, I'm gonna put this over here in this CD, or over in this annuity, or over in this savings account, and self-insure my long-term care. That's one option. Or I'm going to get a policy that's going to pay for X amount of time because that's what I want to afford. But then I also have some extra money just in case. Here comes the problem, and this is why the rider is so important. My mother-in-law, and you know this, my mother-in-law had a long-term care need for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
She lived with us for 13 years. Now, that wasn't her wish. She didn't want it that way. And trust me, I didn't want it that way. It was all good at the end, but nobody, think about it. Listeners, you do not want to move in with your kids as a part of your dream retirement plan. Most of y'all don't want that. She
Right.
had to do that because her Social Security and her pension was not enough to take care of the need. So my point to saying this is when I added up, let's just say $5,000 a month times 12. Okay, you do the math, that's $60,000 a year
Mm-hmm.
times 13 years. That money had to come from somewhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing long-term care planning, you need to ask yourself these type of questions. Am I moving in with my kids as a part of my dream retirement plan? That may be a part of it. That's fine. They'll help you out. Is my kids moving in with me? That may be a part of it. Most of the people that I do business with are either single, divorced, minimal kids, or even if you're married, they do not want them a part of this. They want to be able to self-insure themselves, live their dream retirement the way they want to do it. And I'm simply saying you got to have the money to do that. So hopefully that answers that.
It does. I see Judy has a question. When is it good to start Social Security at retirement? Hopefully, SS Social Security won't be impacted by the incoming administration. So I guess basically the question: when can we? When should we start? When should we pull the trigger and start getting our monies for years and years of employment, and we just retired?
Well, Judy, let me answer it to you this way. Once, twice, three times a week, somebody asks me, when should I start Social Security? And my initial answer to them is, I don't know. Okay. So 62 is when you could take it if you're not a widow. 60 if you're a widow, right? Or, things like that. So 62 in general is when you could start taking it. Well, if you're going to die at 63, you should have took it at 62, right? But if you're going to live to 100, you should wait to 70. Here's another thing. Most people think Social Security is another check that I add to my income while I'm still working. There are income limits to you taking Social Security, and it is not that high. So you need good financial planning advice and good, discussions with people around this, because a lot of people don't realize if you go get that money and you're making over $23,000 of earned income, they are taking back $1 for every $2 over that 22,000. So people get surprised all the time. And so in general, until I've done a full diagnosis of what the person is trying to do, I can't really tell them when they should do that. But SSA.gov is a good place where you can go, and there's a calculator there where you do that. And a good financial advisor can help you, talk through that. But in general, until I've done a full diagnosis on a person, I can't make recommendations, until I know. So hopefully that answered that.
Okay, and I think that my last question, if nobody else has a question, is for those of us that are self-employed, those of us that are real estate agents. We always need to have multiple streams of income because of this market. And most times those estate agents get hit first, with interest rates going up and your clients can't buy, whatever the case may be. What do you have to offer? And you may have already said it, for those of us that really need, we're looking at retirement, it's looking us in our face and we're looking back saying not right now, but it's coming. We keep waking up, it's coming. What do you have for those of us that can really just hammer home and just kind of start socking away as much money as we can? It is the new year. It is 2025. We do have some goals. Most of us, including myself, will fall off the wheel, but this one right here is a necessary um, thing that we have to pay attention to. We have to focus on. We have to say, okay, yes, I need that vacation. Yes, I need that trip. I want to buy a new car. I want to do whatever I want to do, but this has to be a priority. And it's so important to me right now in my age. It's like breathe, like air. I need to do this because if we keep waking up, it's going to happen where one day we're going to need to turn on probably several triggers, and we need to be able to say, I have this, and this. Which one can I go to? And then I'm going to let it go because we're gonna be back here on the 13th with you at next level and leave my next level of members out there, and of course build a circle. You might want to come through because it's gonna be live in person. That's gonna just unpack and reset us all. So can you just hit me with that real quick before I let you go?
Yeah, yeah. So, we're a full service firm. It's nothing that we can't do to help people on the investment side, insurance side, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, long term care. The whole 9 yards. So we do it all.
Mm-hmm,
Now, for the real estate investor, from my 30 years experience, if
mm-hmm,
you are like, I'm gonna say like someone like yourself. So the first thing I would be assessing
mm-hmm.
is how much equity do I have in my properties? Okay,
Okay.
that would be my first assessment. What kind of equity do I have in my personal residence, the two, three, four, five investment properties that I have? That's number one. Okay, what kind of equity am I dealing with? Number two, in retirement, am I going to continue to flip properties, buy
Mm-hmm,
more properties? Rent more property. What I'm trying to get at for the real estate investor is, can you create enough cash flow from your real estate investment, let's call it your business, to retire?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first place you got to start. I'm looking at all of that for that person, because what a lot of real estate investors don't know is all that equity can be turned into cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
A cash flow plan in retirement that you don't have to pay taxes on if you know what you're doing with that. Okay, so that's the first place, I would start. Now, second place I would start, and this is just also from experience with a lot of realtors aren't saving enough money.
Yep.
A lot of realtors are in too much debt.
Yep.
A lot of realtors are hanging on by a thread and
Yep.
don't have, like you said, don't have a pension.
All right.
Okay. You may have Social Security. Okay. But you
Mhm.
don't have a pension, don't have a savings, because, I get it. You done sucked it all into your entrepreneurial venture. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I get it. But if you want to retire, okay, you got to assess that equity in that portfolio. Then you got to get real aggressive on cutting down on these expenses and making sure you got a lot more money than month saving and investing now in liquid areas. Like, once again, at your bank, you can start there. You can start with a brokerage account, for stocks and bonds. You can, look into annuities. But what I always recommend when a person is coming from the real estate side, okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
assess your equity, because that's what you've primarily been focusing on all these years.
Mhm.
And there's a retirement income strategy that you can utilize from your properties that you may or may not understand. And that would be something you want to get understanding on first. And then secondly, it's just, saving, investing, outside of your real estate.
Great. Great. Love this. Love this. This was so good. And more to come, family, next level, build a circle. I guess, Doug, I'm so grateful for you because you always stay on me. You ride, you ride that. You pound that in my head all the time about saving. Don't be doing all those trips and buying all those cars, lady. I get that, and then we'll talk offline about that because I got to circle back. But I want
Right.
to, I just want to just end with, of course, new year, new mindset, more money. Be intentional. Try to create multiple streams of income. Put that retirement piece first and just peel off a little bit, every payday or every commission check, in addition to the taxes that we pay on our commission, into a fund that can grow and save. And we just have to be smarter, especially us single ladies like myself, be smarter about how we spend our money. For years, I've been reckless, spending money, having a great time. Doug, 10 vacations in 1 year, a Porsche here, Mercedes there. Stop it, sister. You're doing too much, but you're not doing enough. So I'm gonna stop right there, bro. And anybody that knows me, they know my lifestyle. I love to have a good time. I love to travel. I love pretty stuff. So now it's a shift because being intentional. I was talking to my daughter about that last night. Be intentional, mom, and don't waste time, bojangling around here. Focus, focus on what the needs really needs to be. So, with saying that, I'd like to get your information for any of my audience out there that would like to talk to you offline. I know that I will be talking to you some more, and we'll be back here on the 13th at 7 p.m. And I know you have a great presentation for us. That's my Builder Circle members and my Next Level members. And so, yes, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a squeeze in to get Doug back here on the summit on the 8th or the 9th. But anyway, let me get that phone number, sir, and I'm gonna let you go for now, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. I'm typing in the chat here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type in the chat my direct line
Yeah.
to speak to my assistant. Her name is Ladidra. If you want to set up a conversation personally, we'll do that for you. no charge. There won't be a problem. We could do a Zoom, or you could come in person. We're here in Maryland. So my office line for a free consultation is 301-242-3320. Ladidra will take care of you, set that up. Our website here is there as well. And I'm actually revamping my website. Next 2 weeks are going to look completely different. We're trying to get this thing AI specific. So that's on the way. Um, it was a few more questions in the chat, real quick,
Sure,
if you
let's
got
keep
time
going.
to
Let's keep
say.
going. Hmm.
So the one question was, is long-term care based on age or coverage? It's based on both. So that should answer that question. And living benefit policies, basically, we could dig into that, Nicole, on, what was it, Monday the 13th, but
Yes.
it's going to be so many different types of those. And so that's where a consultation with an advisor, somebody that could dig into your specifics, because there's so many different living benefit types of policies, so I'm not quite sure exactly which one you're referring to, but if you let me know and let us know, we can dig into that when we get back together.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Anything, anybody else has any questions? Doug's information is here, 301-242-3320. And I'm excited about 2025. And we'll definitely get back together, sir, because we need you. We need people like you. And I know your character, I know who you are, the level of care and how you take care of your clients. And that's not to question. So I'll be in touch, and hopefully some of the ladies here will be reaching out, and we'll see what we come up with. And we'll be back here on the 13th. So but for now, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you offline a little bit later.
All right. Y'all have a great 2025, and anything we can do to help, just let me know.
Thank you, sir. Bye for now. All right, ladies, gentlemen, who else is out there? I hope that this was beneficial. I think it's necessary. It's important, especially as we enter into 2025, day two, the money, more money, and saving more money, preparing for our retirement, thinking about what it's going to look like, not if it happens, it's when it happens. And dealing with our parents. Some of our parents didn't do some of the things that Doug said, and we're going to have to be responsible for watching out for them, taking care of them, making sure that they are good. And it's a real reality. And so we just need to think about that and start to shift around some stuff. And those individuals that's in the building circle, you guys are going to be doing some amazing things this year. It's out here, and we already started kicking off several projects. And I know several of you ladies have already joined forces with Coach and I to make those dreams reality when it comes down to uh, income and also passive income. It's always good to pick up a piece of real estate that you can buy, fix, and hold. Not so much buy, fix, and sell like I've been doing all my life. And then I look back, now that I'm older, go sugar. Had I just kept some of those properties and not been rushing to get to settlement to go off and do whatever I do, it would have been a different look now at 62. And so now I have to accelerate the mission, accelerate the working um, time, and make sure that I am really focusing in on my retirement. So if you all, whoever's out there that's looking at retirement within the next 5 years, 7 years, we really need to have conversations with people like Doug, and also think about what we look like. Like if we hang up this phone and look at our real estate, as he said, look at our business model, look at our investment properties that we have, savings accounts, savings and checkings and stuff like that, annuity accounts, and kind of look and take a checkup to see exactly where we are, and then we'll know where we want to go or where we need to go. So with that, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm excited about 2025 next level. I will see you guys Monday. I have somebody coming in that talks going to be talking a little bit about Baltimore opportunities. Whether you live in the DMV or not, there's still opportunities for you to invest out of state, like some of us are doing right now in Louisiana. We live in the DMV. So I stretched my mind to say, you know, where there's an opportunity, I want to take not only one look, two looks, unpack it and see if there's an opportunity for me, whether it's here or outside of the city. So for now, I thank you for your patience with me today as we tried to get on and I couldn't. Uh, Technical difficulties, but we pushed through. We made it because that's what we do. Winners find ways to win. Say that to yourself when you hang up. Winners, that's me, that's you, find ways to win. And with that, I'm out. Gotta go. God bless you. Make it a great day of purpose, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.